It's Monday, January 11th, 2021. Wanted to make this video this evening to just share with you some of my thoughts. And I want to share a few articles that I read earlier this afternoon. You know, I really wish I could really talk more openly with all of you about what's going on. Most of you are watching the news. You know exactly what's going on. And I'll tell you, we are in, I would say, the most unstable time here in America in our history. And if you do not see the importance of preparation, why you should be prepared physically, mentally, spiritually, financially, if you're not preparing across the board, I feel really, really sorry for you. We are in uncertain, unstable times. A time where I can't even speak freely with you. And that's really, really sad. And it's scary and it's concerning. And you need to be preparing for the end game here, because this is going to end very, very, very ugly for many Americans. And on top of it, on top of everything happening socially, everything that we're watching happen throughout the internet, you put an economic collapse, a depression on top of it. Wow, very, very scary stuff. I want to start with an article today on CNBC. Just 39% of Americans could pay for a $1,000 emergency expense. You know, as we see things dividing socially, as we see a power grab taking place, I look around and I see people going broke. I see people collapsing financially daily now in America. The country's collapsing, but I'm seeing individuals collapsing. They're collapsing mentally. They're collapsing physically. They're collapsing spiritually. They're collapsing financially right before our very eyes. And as things get worse, this economy is going to take such a toll on people in so many different ways. But 39% of Americans could pay a $1,000 emergency expense. If your kid fell down and needed 20 stitches at the urgent care, you better have $1,000, or you better have access to it. You need a brake job, you better have $1,000. You need that radiator to put in your car to get to work, you better have that $1,000. And I'll tell you, if people didn't have credit cards at this point, how bad would this collapse be right now? It's bad now. Just imagine if people couldn't fall back on credit cards, where we would be. So we look at that number, 39%. Back in 2020, that same that number was 41%. Back in 2019, that number was 40%. Today, it's 39%. So this didn't just start back in March. This problem started years ago. This economy was collapsing years ago. In the same article, it says 44% expect their finances to improve this year. These people are sadly mistaken. I would say those 44% have no idea what is going on. I would say, just looking at what's going on out there, just reading where we're at with unemployment and the jobless numbers, the amount of people now dependent on a stimulus check, the amount of people living check to check, or paycheck to paycheck, I would say these people are sadly mistaken. I think many people are going to be shocked how bad things are about to get in their life, especially financially. Here's another article. This comes from The Hedge. It's a ghost town. Debt-laden New York City taxi drivers in dire straits. You know, we look at all the people that are working in restaurants and leisure and hospitality. We look at taxi cab drivers now. Ridership is down 80 to 90% since March. 90% of the drivers are actually immigrants. And, you know, people that are just, here trying to make a living, trying to survive, trying to live the dream. And their opportunity is just disintegrating. These drivers take out loans on these cabs. And now, how do they pay these loans back? Huge problem. And the problems in places like San Francisco, and New York and Las Vegas, and the list goes on. The problems continue to get worse and worse. And a lot of people believe, because they may live in some small town, that they're immune from these problems. But I'm telling you, these problems are going to be hitting everybody in big towns, mid-sized towns, and small towns, because your states are all going broke. The government here is broke. There was so much debt that it's just going to trickle down all across America. You can run, but you cannot hide from what is coming, ladies and gentlemen. Yes, I would rather be, and I'm not in a huge city, but I believe if you have a choice, you'd much rather be in a smaller city than a large city. There's no doubt about it. I don't believe the devastation will be as bad in smaller cities, but at the end of the day, everybody is going to feel the pain. The hedge today, don't panic. Entire nation of Pakistan loses power in massive blackout. This happened Saturday night. The entire country plunged into darkness. I mean, think about that. An entire country, I think around 200 million people live in Pakistan. The whole country was in darkness to a breakdown in their national grid. And when I read an article like this, it makes me think to myself, what would we do? What would I do? Am I prepared enough? I'm preparing as much as I can. Could I do better? Yes, absolutely. Could you do better? You have to ask yourself, are you prepared? Can you do better? What if the lights went out? Now, this was just for a short period, power's back up and running. But what if the lights went out for a week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks, 4 weeks? How long could you survive without your refrigerator functioning? Power must be operational, or guess what? Your water plants do not work. And so when you turn on the faucet at your house, there's no water because the treatment center in your area doesn't have power. It's down. So you got to really think about questions like this. You got to question yourself, could you survive a week with the power out? And most people could not. But most people here in America would probably say, well, that's in Pakistan. That could never happen here, right? That would be the answer. Look, ladies and gentlemen, I hope all of you are critically thinking, because anything is now possible in 2021. Our grid is so susceptible, it's so fragile, it's so vulnerable. To think that we couldn't see a cyber attack or an attack on the grid or some act of Mother Nature knocking a grid down, you're sadly mistaken. Please wake up. Another article today, extreme winter storm buries Texas Valley in rare snow. 150,000 with no power in Texas. Think about that. So even Mother Nature can knock out power. Are you prepared to deal with that? And if power's out long enough, guess what else happens? You start to see big problems with gangs and crime, homicides, theft, break-ins, you name it. Are you prepared to defend yourself? Can you defend your household? CNBC today, $200 billion wiped off cryptocurrency market in 24 hours as Bitcoin pulls back. I saw it down in the $31,000 range today, and last night it is now in the $35,000 range. Boy, you talk about volatility, going from 31,000 to 35,000 within hours. Bitcoin over the weekend lost around 20 to 25%. Just in a matter of a couple days. Absolutely incredible. But again, you have to think about, what if the power goes down? Are your cryptocurrencies vulnerable? Can you use them? Will you be able to buy and sell with cryptos if the power goes down? If you were in Pakistan, could you use your cryptos this past weekend? But it's incredible to see the volatility. It is back up. And again, this is no knock on cryptocurrencies. Cryptocurrencies represent what we're seeing today, people getting out of the dollar, looking at other options, getting out of the system. And I can't blame people for buying cryptos, although I'm a gold and silver guy. But look how quickly $200 billion was wiped off the cryptocurrency market like that. The volatility. So people who are just going all in, doubling down, pulling massive amounts of money out of their homes to buy cryptos. If you bought at 40,000 and you saw you saw Bitcoin at 31,000, you had to be getting very, very worried. And it is back up to 35,000. We'll see how it plays out here. But you know, these people who call this digital gold, I never saw gold get knocked down 20-25% in a couple days. I don't think you can compare something that's been around 10 years versus something that's been around 6,000 years. But again, look, I'm not judging, I'm not criticizing anybody that has cryptos. Anybody looking at options to get out of the system, get out of the dollar, I do not criticize or judge, that's for sure. But I believe that you better be holding real tangible assets like gold and silver, because when the lights go out, you better have something. You better have some cash on hand. You better have some gold. You better have some silver, because if the lights go out long enough, I don't believe cryptocurrencies are going to be an asset for you if you cannot use them. Another article in the Hedge today, cryptos are crashing, Coinbase offline. Coinbase, the largest crypto exchange, has gone offline 2 out of the last 3 days. So, you know, there is volatility in cryptos, ladies and gentlemen, and you should have some gold, you should have some silver, and you should have some cash. As I close this video, and look, I'm just making this video thinking out loud today, and I hope that all of you are thinking a little bit too. Again, everything that we're watching on the news take place. And how all this is going to play out on the 20th and beyond. Is this going to be a new world? Is this going to be a new America? We are no doubt seeing a very divided nation. I don't know about you, but I'm seeing people very, very stressed out. I talked to a couple of friends of mine over the weekend, and they said, have you noticed the amount of road rage, people honking their horns, tailgating, driving extremely fast? And it's very true. Road rage is definitely going up. Homicides up. Drug use is up. Suicide is up. People are becoming now to come to their wits' end, to their breaking point. And we're seeing people, no doubt, very, very stressed out in America. And unfortunately, this is going to get worse. All this is going to get much worse because you haven't seen anything yet. It's going to be very interesting to see how all this plays out, how much money they're going to print in 2021, how much inflation is coming in 2021, how much dollar destruction is going to be coming in 2021, and how much economic destruction are we going to see in 2021. And all this is going to play out socially. We're going to see tempers flare. We're going to see more violence. We're going to see more road rage, more drug use, more suicide. It's going to be a very, very ugly year in American history, ladies and gentlemen, no doubt. And as I make these videos, as I make this video today, this is just a reminder to prepare the best that you can. Take every day that you have as an opportunity to put those odds in your favor. It's a time now to really hunker down and get ready for what is about to come to America. I pray and hope for the best, but as I connect the dots, as I read what's going on, as I see all the market manipulation, as I see all the volatility taking place, I have a pretty good idea what's coming, and it's not going to be a fun time in America. I believe that these dangers are going to come in many different forms, socially, politically, spiritually, and financially. And you need to be covering all your bases right now. Become your own asset. Become a better person, get in better physical shape, get in better spiritual shape, walk closer to God. If you're watching this video tonight, please get on your hands and knees this evening and thank God for everything he has blessed you with. You may be sleeping on a couch, you may be sleeping on a floor, but you have a roof over your head. You have a phone, obviously, to watch this video, or a computer. You're blessed. If you had a meal today, you're blessed. If you have a family, you're blessed. If you have good friends, you're blessed. And you're going to need all this. You're going to need all of your family, all of your friends, and you're going to need God to get through what is about to come to America. It is knocking at the door, and it is going to be quite evil. Something very evil this way comes to America, ladies and gentlemen. Prepare, because you're going to be dealing with a lot of evil. God bless every one of you. Talk to all of you very, very soon.